Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Google MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. We may be getting Dee Dee Woodson tonight. I don't know. She hasn't really confirmed if she was going to be on or not. If she does, great. If she doesn't, then we'll see her next time, whenever that may be. So, guys, here we are on the week of WrestleMania. It is WrestleMania week. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Obviously, we're gonna start out with SmackDown Live, and immediately once AEW Rampage does finish, then we will indeed give you guys the rundown or the recap of that episode to let you guys know how that turned out to be. But whatever the case may be, whatever it is. And guys, here we go. So, with that said, we're going to start it out with SmackDown Live as always. And SmackDown Live was held last night. And it was, just give me 1 second. I'm trying to get my notes. All right, here we go. So, SmackDown Live.
One of your all-time favorite venues, MF, a venue that you hold near and dear to your heart, the MGM Grand, baby.
Yeah, MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. And here we go. So, we started it out. Let's see, hold on. All right, here we go. So, we started it out with Cody Rhodes going one-on-one with Ludwig Kaiser of Imperium. And it was the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, winning the match in 16 minutes and 45 seconds. But then after that, there was a Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa cutted a promo. And, right after that, Cody cutted a promo on both Heyman and on Solo, and oh my goodness, I mean, it was definitely very interesting. First off, Ludwig Kaiser versus Cody Rhodes, you could easily say fight of the night. Excellent match. 3.5 to 3, I say 3.5 stars, solid 3.5, maybe 3 3/4 if you want to go there, but it was still great action, great body of work, great wrestling. Then the promo was really well. I thought they did a great job with that promo. I thought everything was really good. Heyman being the kind of, trying to be the wise man, and Cody handling it in such a unique way. I thought they did a great job with it. So I really got nothing more to say there. I thought it was a great way to start the show. So Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah. Really strong outing for Ludwig Kaiser, who rarely gets an opportunity to compete in singles competition, but proved he could hang with one of the top stars in the industry. A good long match to start the show. It told the story of a guy in Cody Rhodes who is marching toward the top prize in the industry, but along the way is going to get the best of every opponent. How he adapts and overcomes is key, and here he did so with perfect timing and his trademark finisher. He will not be as lucky come Monday night if he tries to absorb that much offense from the punishing Solo Sikoa, who is the perfect next hurdle on the road to the tribal chief. Cody entered into a huge pop while Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci were already in the ring. Paul Heyman made his presence felt on the entrance ramp, watching Cody from a distance as the show headed to commercial break. Kaiser wrestled control of the match away from the American Nightmare during that break, capitalizing on a superplex that did more damage to Rhodes than the intended competitor. Sikoa joined Heyman and moved closer to the ring, getting a closer look as Kaiser launched Rhodes over the ring steps. Rhodes delivered a Cody cutter that downed Kaiser and set up the finish. And then Solo hopped on the apron with Heyman, who cut a promo and revealed that Rhodes will battle the enforcer of the Bloodline this Monday night on Raw. And Cody said, "I probably shouldn't have wrestled with half of my body hanging off, and I still beat Seth Rollins inside Hell in a Cell," he exclaimed in defiance of the idea that he cannot beat Sikoa. And Cody said after Sikoa finds out he's not ready on Raw, Reigns will find out at WrestleMania that he isn't ready either. So, 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star for the match. You could easily make an argument for 4 if you wanted to, but it was without a doubt the fight of the night. And 2 big news items that came out of that post-match promo. The first, Cody Rhodes will face Solo Sikoa one-on-one this Monday night on Raw in Phoenix to kick off WrestleMania week. And then on top of that, Friday night, WrestleMania Smackdown, the night before WrestleMania. You guys remember when I said that I wanted to see at least one more face-to-face with Cody and Roman? We're getting it. We're getting it on the WrestleMania Smackdown Friday night. So they must have heard me, I guess. So Cody and Roman, one more face-to-face. Or as Michael Bullock loves to hear me say, face-to-face. So we'll wait and see how that happens. So fight of the night, 3.5 to 4, no doubt about it. And great post-match and sets up 2 big announcements for WrestleMania week. Both very exciting to say the very least. So not much more to say. Phenom, Michael Bullock, come on in. Of course, we had another one of our legendary SmackDown chats last night, and we definitely had a lot of fun with this match here. And Bullock, Cody Rhodes defeats Kaiser in what was the fight of the night, 3.5 to 4. But what about afterwards when Paul Heyman announced that Cody Rhodes will face Solo Sikoa one-on-one this Monday night on Raw, and then Friday on WrestleMania Smackdown the night before, Cody and Roman, one more face-to-face, as it should be.
Yeah, 3.5 to 4, definitely the fight of the night, hands down. I mean, it's a good way for Cody to continue to build his momentum heading into his big showdown against the Tribal Chief at WrestleMania. But yeah, I mean, and like you said, after the match, he found out that he's going to go one-on-one with Solo Sikoa on the final Raw before WrestleMania. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And then he's got one final stare down with the Tribal Chief on WrestleMania SmackDown the night before WrestleMania. So it's going to be interesting to see what develops out of that whole thing. So there's really nothing more for me to say. So let's move right along.
All right. Next up we had was a promo by the SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. Anthony Florio, give me your thoughts.
Yeah. It was fine for what it was, but tonally off. Charlotte came across more as a heel than anything, which is not exactly what you want from the babyface who will be looking to fend off her heel top contender in just over a week. Maybe it was confidence. Perhaps it was defiance toward an audience that inexplicably chose her promo as the time to launch into chants that have not been relevant in 20 years and are the bane of a lot of people's and was the bane of her existence. But the tone hurt what was already an ineffective promo because of the lack of focus on Rhea Ripley. And she was getting what chance, and that just goes to show you not everybody is accepting of Charlotte Flair. And Charlotte said, 14-time world champion, and I can tell you that was not built on fear, insecurities, or nepotism. Rhea Ripley, I don't fear you. I respect you. The only thing I fear is my own potential. I have built this house with every brick you all have thrown at me all these years. And I will never apologize for continuing the greatest legacy in the history of this industry. It kind of sounded a little heelish to me, if I'm going to be honest with you. And the fans, they didn't really care for it. So it was just all right for me. After that great build last week with that awesome brawl, it was back to reality this week. And snoozer for me. So not much more for me to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
I'll just say it like this, and this is how you would say it, Florio. It was solid, but not overly spectacular with this promo. I mean, we had a great build, of course, with that brawl with Charlotte and Rhea last week, but this week, like you said, it was a back to reality, and the fans, like you said, they didn't care for her. I mean, they just basically had the what chance going on, so it did feel a little heelish, even though she is a baby face, and there were still some that really were not accepting her as a baby face. So yeah, that certainly doesn't help here because, of course, she is going up against the heel in Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. So hopefully it'll be better come next week. But we'll see. So, like I said, solid but unspectacular for me. So it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, solid but unspectacular, and yeah, it was a little bit of a disappointment. I mean, the fans kind of hijacked that moment. They hijacked it on Charlotte, and the thing is, Charlotte couldn't really deliver. She couldn't bounce back from that because of what happened. So it was it disappointing, absolutely, but there's really nothing more to say on that one. So, with that said, we do indeed move on, and we move on to LA Knight going one-on-one with Rey Mysterio. LA Knight winning the match in 11 minutes thanks to a little bit of some interference by Dominic Mysterio. So Dominic trying to put the pressure on Rey to take the match at WrestleMania. Rey, still defiant, says no, it's not happening. Then he turns his attention to Mama Angie and Aaliyah, who are down at front row, and started talking a whole bunch of junk, especially to Angie and Aaliyah, telling her to sit down. Saying that this is stupid. Calling her stupid and told her to sit down. Then that was it. Rey rolls out, ducks Dom, says, you pushed me to do this. I didn't want to hit you, but you made me do it. You don't disrespect your mother like that. That's my wife. You want to fight at WrestleMania? You're on. I'll see you at WrestleMania. It is official. It is happening. We got it, guys. It took us a long time to get there, but Vegas, you got the magic moment. You got the golden ticket, and now it's going to happen at SoFi 1 week, either 1 week from tonight or 1 week from Sunday. We don't know yet. We don't know if it's night 1 or night 2. However, 1 week from now, we will have Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio, father versus son at WrestleMania. Michael Bullock, you lead off. Finally, we got the ultimate payoff. It's on.
Well, first off, for the match, I'll give this about 3.5 on this one. I mean, it was a fine match, but yeah, I mean, Dominic basically cost his dad the match, and yeah, definitely a big win for LA Knight. But the big story coming out of this one was what happened afterwards, and Dominic was once again trying to get Rey to accept the match for him against him at WrestleMania. Rey once again was defiant, said no, I'm not gonna do it, and well, let's just say, Fletch, as we said, Dominic decided to turn up the heat and decided to go after his own mom and his own sister, basically saying, you just stood there and let my dad do what he did, and so since he's a deadbeat dad, that makes you a deadbeat mom. And you could see that really pissed off Aaliyah, and Dom's like, you know what, why don't you just sit down because you're so stupid. And then of course Angie took the mic from Dominic and she was going to try to talk some sense into him, but then, of course, Fletch, Dominic took the mic back and he said, "Mom, shut up!" And I'm like, and that's what did it. That is what did it. Ray came back, finally ducked him, and he said, "You know what? You pushed me to do this. I didn't want to hit you, but you pushed me to hit you. You don't disrespect your mom. That is my wife. You want to fight me at WrestleMania? You're on." And yes, it is official. And it took us a while, boys, and we got it. It is going to be, without a shadow of a doubt, the most personal match in the history of WrestleMania. I mean, only the second time in the history of WrestleMania we will have a father against a son. And I mean, yes, I mean, that Vince and Shane match from WrestleMania 17 was personal, but that is nothing compared to what we're going to get. And I'm going to go as far as to say this, guys. This is going to be the sleeper fight of the night come WrestleMania, because of the story that's been told throughout all this, how personal it's gotten. I mean, I'm interested to see what's going to happen here. And Fletch, all I can say is I give this to you. I feel for whoever the referee is going to be for this match, because that ref is going to have his hands full trying to contain these two. I mean, you could just, I mean, Dominic finally pushed Ray over the edge. I mean, the moment Dominic told his mom to shut up, that's when Ray was like, "All right, that's it. You went way too far this time, and I'm going to finally beat some respect into you, you distasteful little bastard." So, nothing more to say. Fletch, all I can say is this is going to be one of the most personal matchups that I could ever remember, not just in the history of WrestleMania, but in professional wrestling in general.
And did you look at the look on Dom when Ray ducked him? Like, I think he realized now, uh-oh, I think I've gone too far. And he did. He pushed the buttons. He tried to, and the thing was, the word that he was trying to do was hurtful enough. He was trying everything in his power to try to get that type of situation. But here's the thing. We haven't seen Rhea. We haven't seen Finn. We haven't seen
Damien.
Yeah. So are they gonna be there for him at WrestleMania for that fight? I don't think so. Maybe Damian Priest, because as of right now, Priest does not have a match at WrestleMania. But Balor's gonna get locked into Hell in a Cell. Mommy, Rhea Ripley, she's fighting for the SmackDown Women's title. I think Dom is on his own. And the thing is, we haven't seen what Dominic can do on his own. And now you're going up against Rey Mysterio, who is now more than motivated than ever before because of what Dom did. I think Dom has indeed practically made the biggest mistake of his life, messing with Rey Mysterio.
I'll say it, Fletch. I think Dom bit off more than he could chew.
I think so. And
he tried to. I mean, he pushed those buttons, and now he may live to regret that come WrestleMania.
Well, we'll see. Because now more than ever, you got to say it. Dom wanted this, and he wanted to push Ray to that fight. All right, you want to push now, but the thing is, he might have pushed too much and too hard for it, and now, like you said, he might be living the regret of taking that fight, but we'll see. So
And the
at
thing,
the end,
and the thing is, not only do you have Ray, who that's probably going to want to beat the crap out of him, but you've got not just the WWE universe, but everybody around the world wants to see Dominic finally, by God, finally get his comeuppance after all the insults, all the disrespect, and they want to see him finally get what he deserves.
Yeah, and the thing is that unfortunately, I think this is not gonna be a one-off. I kind of feel like they might do this like maybe a couple times, but I feel like right now going into this, I feel like Ray's the favorite going into this fight against Dom. Going in prior, I think Dom would have been the favorite. Because obviously there was the rumor about Ray retiring, maybe that they do a career threatening fight, whatever. But honestly, I don't see it now. I think Ray is going to win this fight, and maybe you'll get Dom and Ray maybe one more time, and that's when you'll get the career ending. Maybe at SummerSlam at Ford Field now. I think that could be where Ray ends his career. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But Anthony Florio, it's yours. The match was 3 stars. Oh, by the way, obviously that got foreshadowed because of what happened with Ray and Dom and the big announcement. But you also got to give a lot of credit to LA Knight. He got a big win, and now we'll wait and see how that gets parlayed to him. Because supposedly LA Knight might be at WrestleMania. He might be fighting at Mania. There's a rumor going around, but we'll see. So, Florio, it's yours.
11 minutes in for the match?
Yes.
All right. That's about 3.25. All right. Competitive match. Saw LA Knight score a tainted win after Dominic tripped his father up, providing a distraction that allowed the loudmouth heel the opportunity to score a cheap schoolboy roll-up win. No pulling of the tights. That's what I would have done, but if it was me. But, pulling the tights and getting the win, our running gag for many years. But that's not what happened there. But say it like this, hook or by crook, it's the biggest win of LA Knight's WWE career. Look who he beat. Rey Mysterio. Headlining the Hall of Fame. Won almost every title there was to win. The only things Rey never did was win Money in the Bank and the King of the Ring. But other than that, Rey won every single title that WWE had to offer. So anytime you beat a guy like that, that's the biggest win of anybody's career. So whether it's a decisive win or a tainted win, it's LA Knight's biggest win. There's a lot of people on social media going around saying LA Knight deserves a spot at WrestleMania. I'm one of them. He does deserve a spot at WrestleMania. He will be in a match on Friday night, which has become a WrestleMania staple, but we'll save that for the end because I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So I think you know where I'm going with it. But as far as what happened afterward, the meat of the segment came moments later when Dominic taunted his father by disrespecting his own mother. This drew Rey back to the ringside where he blasted his son with a hard right hand to the face and finally accepted the match at WrestleMania. This was fantastic and further proof on this road to the Showcase of the Immortals that slow burn stories with ample build and layers still work. Hence the long-term booking and storytelling that Papa H and his creative team have been known for since he took over. Rey versus Dominic is spectacle storytelling and will result in another emotionally fueled match that will have fans in Hollywood rooting for the Hall of Famer to whoop his ungrateful son's ass in a grand display of family drama. Rey greeted his wife, Angie, and daughter, Aaliyah, at ringside. Wade Barrett on commentary continued to put over LA Knight's quest for a WrestleMania bout suggesting that is a story WWE wants to focus on the star. Dominic appeared mid-match, distracting his father and turning the tide in the favor of LA Knight entering the commercial break. The ungrateful second-generation heel distracted his father after tripping him up during a 619 attempt, setting up a finish that saw LA Knight roll Ray up for the win. And like Bullock said, Dominic, he said, "Mom, did you know you married a deadbeat?" And Dominic said, "Yeah, actually you did, because you sat by and watched every night as he left me." And then Michael Bullock said those magic words that Dom said last night, and we couldn't get over that during our Smackdown chat last night when he said, "Mom, shut up." Dominic exclaimed, providing the emphasis for one of the most anticipated matches of the WrestleMania card. On a card that you could say almost every match is highly anticipated, with the exception of one in particular. Maybe a couple of others, depending on how they play out, but I don't know. But for the most part, this WrestleMania card is definitely shaping up to be an all-timer, no question about it. But segment of the night, there is no question about that. I don't know what happened to Bullock. I don't know if he hit the wrong button or if or what in the world's going on with him. But nonetheless, all right, there he is. Okay, so anyways, solid match, about 3 to 3 1/4. And as far as that, what happened in the post match, that was very well done. The long-term storytelling paid off here. I mean, it really kicked into high, when with those 2 home invasions by Dominic and Rhea on Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then, of course, they had another moment on Valentine's Day and the whole nine, and perfectly done. It was almost exactly like what they did with Brett and Owen when they were going into WrestleMania 10. So very well done. And we finally get the payoff and perfect build. And one I saw somebody say this story has had the second best build, only behind the Bloodline stuff. And that's really all there is to say on that. So Dom and Ray, that is going to be that's got show stealer potential at Mania. But then again, that a lot of that card, with the exception of a couple matches here and there, all have show stealer potential. So we're looking at an all-time card here, folks. That's all there is to it. So 3 1/4 for the match. The post-match, worth it more than anything else. Ray and Dom at Mania. Second father-son match. Vince and Shane at 17. If it's anything like Vince and Shane at 17, we're going to be in for something real good. So not much more to say, MF. Let's move on.
Yeah, and with that said, it's going to be another matchup here, and it was a showcase fight. So basically, the winner of this gets to go to WrestleMania, as it was Natalya and Shotzi versus Lacey Evans and Xia Li. It was Natalya and Shotzi. They won the match in 3 minutes and 35 seconds to punch their ticket to WrestleMania. However, there was an interruption, and it was Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, and they actually announced and basically said that that Rousey and Shayna has now been added to that showcase fight. So, whoa, I think we just found our new odds-on favorites to win that match. The women's showcase fight, it was what? 6 teams? What was it?
4.
4. So
it's a 4-team match, so we need one more.
Yeah. So we're talking a showcase fight that has Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, of course, Shotzi and Natalya, Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, and one more team. And this is huge. But the thing is that if you think about it, that's 3 SmackDown teams. I thought it was supposed to be 2 and 2. What happened? So that's the biggest thing that I got, or the biggest bone that I got to pick right now is Why for the imbalance? I don't mind it. I love it. But that's a major imbalance. Because now you got 3 SmackDown squads and maybe 1 Raw squad? Does that make any sense? I don't think so. As far as the match goes, I'll give it maybe 1.5. I don't think it was anything special. The big announcement is Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler now being a part of this showcase fight. That's the big announcement more than anything else. So, if anybody wants to touch this, go ahead, Anthony. It's yours.
What was the time of the match?
3:55.
Yeah, that was the worst fight of the night. 1.5. Perfectly acceptable wrestling, but little else. If I'm going to be honest with you, when it comes to this, right now, as I look at this card right now, I'm looking at this as the second worst fight of the night, as the second worst fight. The only match that I think is worse, that's going to be worse than this, is Brock Lesnar and Omos. This is probably going to be the second worst fight of the night, if I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, the build has not been all that exciting. These qualifying matches have been very uneventful, and mercifully, they just threw Ronda and Shayna in there, so which makes sense. They shouldn't have to qualify based on their name value alone. But Ronda and Shayna returned and revealed they've been added to the match, and Shayna rightly pointed out that Shotzi and Natalya, as well as Liv and Raquel, have reasons to want to get at them, and she's right. As the heels have made their lives a living hell, all 4 of them. And if the match ended with those 3 teams, it would make the most sense. A 4th team, likely maybe Carmella and Chelsea Green, if the recent booking is any indication. We'll give those 2 characters a WrestleMania spot, which only serves to water down the fight. If not for Lesnar and Omos, I would have considered this. I would say going in, this would be the worst fight of WrestleMania right here. The men's 4 showcase match, that's got potential because there is some good talent in that match. So I'm not going to poo-poo on that one. But this one here, I don't know. I really don't know. So this could end up serving as like a cool down match if you really think about it, after like a big match or something. I don't know, or a big moment. I don't know. But regardless of what night it's on, this has snoozer potential, to be honest with you. So that's just my quick 2 cents on it. The fight was the worst fight. It was about 1, maybe 1.5. And, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. So 1 team left, and it should be a Raw team. And I think it'll probably be Carmella and Chelsea Green. That's just how I feel. So we'll see what they do with that on Monday night, if anything. So not much more to say. Bullock, if you want to say something, feel free. If not, then we'll just give it back to MF, I guess. You're on mute, Bullock.
Yeah, there we go now. 1.5. I agree. I mean, this was the worst fight of the night. I mean, I think this women's showcase is going to end up being the second worst fight of the night when it comes to WrestleMania. I mean, I think the men's showcase is going to be better because of the talent, but yeah, you guys pretty much said everything, so let's just move on.
All right. With that said, we do indeed move on. Next up we had was, Michael Bullock, this is something you would like to say, but it was the Intercontinental Championship match contract signing for WrestleMania. And, yep, go ahead, say it. You know you want to.
Hit it, JBL.
Well,
it never ends well. Well, we had a 2-for-1 for it because not only did it happen, but the next thing we had was a match between Gunther and Butch And the winner of the bout in 9 minutes was the Intercontinental Champion Gunther. So go ahead, Bullock, mute your mic. Anthony Flario, I give it to you. Gunther getting momentum heading to WrestleMania.
How long was that match again?
9 minutes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought I heard less, but all right. Solid 3. There's definitely history with these two. We all remember as Walter and Pete Dunne from NXT UK. They had a banger of a match for that UK title a few years ago, as we all know. That damn joint manipulation. Ugh. I'm always gonna cringe on it. I always do. But all right. Okay, as far as the contract signing goes, hurt feelings between the challengers were aired before the Reign General demanded an explanation from Adam Pearce as to why this match was made in the first place. The signatures happened. The match was made official. All hell broke loose from there as Butch attacked Gunther, setting up the match between the NXT UK rivals. The match was as physical and competitive as one might expect from the Intercontinental Champion and the artist formerly known as Pete Dunne, even though I'm hearing reports that he might be known as Pete Dunne again, which he should have been all along. With chest-caving strikes and several submission attempts, distractions by McIntyre and the Brawling Brutes gave way to Gunther delivering the last symphony for the win. The issues between McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther, the deteriorating friendship between Sheamus and McIntyre, and Gunther's quest to restore dignity to professional wrestling despite what he perceives as a nonsensical triple threat match are stories that help elevate these segments and make them a success. A fun little surprise of a match only helped it. That was a solid 3 stars, and Sheamus reminded McIntyre that he brought him to his first training session and even let him live on his sofa. And McIntyre says, "I've beaten you. I know I can beat Gunther, and history suggests you can't." And then Gunther demanded Adam Pearce explain his decision, but ultimately signed the contract, stating that whatever gets him on the WrestleMania card and defending the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship will be justified. Butch jumped Gunther, necessitating a match between the two after the commercial break. Butch tried for a moonsault off the apron, landed on his feet, and immediately ate a chop that sent him over the announce table. And a brawl between McIntyre, Sheamus, and Ridge Holland distracted Butch and set up the finish. Very good contract signing, good segment there. Solid match here, 3 stars. Would have liked to have seen a little more, but it is what it is. And Friday night on WrestleMania Smackdown, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus are going to team up against Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci of Imperium. How are McIntyre and Sheamus going to exist after this? I don't know. And we have a final. The Yukon Huskies are on their way to the Final Four, and they did it in grand style. They absolutely holiday hammed the Gonzaga Bulldogs, 82-54. Gonzaga getting beat down by Yukon. The Yukon Huskies are back in the Final Four, 6th time in school history, and they will face either Miami or Texas in the Final Four next Saturday. So Florida Atlantic and UConn, the first 2 entrants into the Final Four, will determine the other 2 entrants tomorrow. So just wanted to put that out there real quick. Beat down by UConn tonight. So not much more to say on this. 3 stars for the effort. And Bullock, I mean, that contract signing did not end well. We all knew it wouldn't. We knew there was going to be some physicality involved with these hotheads here. And then we get Gunther and Butch in a return match from their UK days, NXT UK days, and now we set up next week on SmackDown, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre against Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. How will McIntyre and Sheamus coexist after the recent tension between them? That will be interesting to know. So, Bullock, your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens if these two can coexist, especially with their Intercontinental title match about a day or 2 away, depending on which night it will be on. So we'll see. But 3 stars for the match. I mean, I definitely agree with everything you guys said. So it's your Sledge.
All right. And with that said, Yeah, so the next thing that we did have on this show, here we go. Um, well, there was only one thing that was left. It was a promo segment by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And it was interrupted by the Usos. And well, there you go, guys. So Michael Bullock, it is yours. You want to talk about adding just another layer to that bloodline Owens and Sammy storyline? Boy, did they bring that full circle here tonight.
Yeah, they certainly brought it full circle here uh, last night. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn basically, I mean, having a conversation about the problems with the Usos and why they decided this was the time to get back together. And then Kevin Owens presented Sami Zayn with a shirt where it says KO Mania, but the thing is, he told Sammy that was the back of the shirt. Wait till you see the front. And then he sees the front, and that's when it says WrestleZania. So, and you can just see how much Sami Zayn enjoyed it. So, yeah, and then of course you had the Usos come out and blindside him, and yeah, so that definitely adds more fuel to this storyline. So definitely a good way to close out the show. So it is yours, Fletch.
Yeah, this is gonna be amazing, man. We already knew that this match was heightened, and it is one of the marquee fights for WrestleMania, no doubt. And now it just takes another level. So I mean, there's really nothing wrong that these guys can do. It's like every time they do something amazing, it gets even better. So great way to close the show. Nothing more to add. Anthony Florio, go ahead, it's yours.
If any match deserves to main event night one of WrestleMania, this is it. This is the match. I mean, I know everybody's going to say, "Oh, it should be Charlotte and Rhea." I get it, but if you want to have the most exciting way to close the first night of WrestleMania, this is the way to do it. Especially if it's going to be a send the crowd home happy moment, and nothing would send that SoFi crowd home happier from night one than to see Sammy and Kevin win the tag team titles, which I think they're going to do. We all think they're going to do that. But the segment, including the nice payoff to Owens' "You need a new shirt" comment from a few months back after Roman Reigns had given Sammy one, was good stuff and continued to highlight the best storyline in wrestling today. With that said, it did not really further things in any measurable way, making it impossible to, rate it higher than just a top segment, no matter how rewarding it is to watch two guys like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have this run in this company. They are genuine stars and have earned all of this. And Owens, he said, "Hey, you wanted your own pop. It's okay. I get it. They love you. I totally get it." He ribbed Sammy about getting his own entrance. And Sammy asked, "Do you realize what we're on the verge of doing?" Before reminding Owens and the fans that they started in Montreal and are about to possibly win the undisputed tag team titles at WrestleMania. And Owens called Sammy the MVP of the last 12 months, igniting chants from the crowd. And Owens presented Zayn with a new shirt, WrestleZania, like Bullock mentioned. And Owens said, "I told you last week you get one hug a year." He got the second one. There could be more to come, especially at Mania. And the Usos attacked, dropping Sammy with a 1D and scurrying to the floor as Owens chased them off with a steel chair. This match, oh my goodness, this is going to go down. I mean, we haven't had that many memorable tag team title matches at WrestleMania. I mean, the first memorable one was the British Bulldogs and the Dream Team at WrestleMania 2. And, then you had the Heart Foundation and the Nasty Boys. Really, the greatest were, of course, the two TLC matches. Well, the Triangle Ladder match at 16, 2000, and TLC 2 at 17. We haven't really seen that many exciting tag team title matches at WrestleMania since. Not off the top of my head, but I got a feeling if all goes well, and I got a good feeling it will, we could be looking at the greatest tag team title match in WrestleMania history. I think it's well on its way to becoming the best one ever, surpassing the triangle ladder match and the TLC match from 16 and 17 respectively. So those were the two greatest to this day. This one, I believe, is going to blow it away. If they give it the time it deserves, if they deliver the body of work we know they're capable of, and if they pay it off the way we think they will, we're looking at an all-timer, gentlemen. We're looking at an all-timer. Not much more for me to say on it. So Michael Bullock, did Bullock start off, or?
Bullock started, yeah.
That's what I thought. All right, I just remembered. So, all right. So with that, let's get into our overall review here.
7 to 7.5 out of 10. I thought they did a really good show here. I thought they did really well. Could have been better in certain areas, yes. But all in all, solid performance. Really nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
I'm actually going to give it 7.5 to 8 because we had 3 good matches. Cody Rhodes, Ludwig Kaiser. That was the fight of the night. Then you had 2 other solid matches, LA Knight and Rey Mysterio. And, of course, that impromptu match with Gunther and Butch. Those were the 3 quality matches of the night. We had some major storyline progression. Of course, we finally got the payoff with Rey and Dominic. And, yeah, so and some big things set up for next week. MF, I mean, WrestleMania Smackdown. Look what you got here. You've got Drew McIntyre and Sheamus against Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. You've also got the final face-off with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. And on top of that, MF, once again, SmackDown's getting the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. You're getting that as well. So get ready, Staples. That's all I can say. They're going to have all that and the Hall of Fame induction ceremony right on top of that. They're gonna experience the same fun that Dallas got to experience last year. So get ready, MF. You're looking at a good one. A big final pit stop to SoFi. So 7.5 to 8 for me. Bullet taking home with this, and then we'll get into our rare Saturday night edition of AEW Rampage.
Yeah, 7.5 for me on this one. Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you just said, Florio. So Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, 7. Well, I was the one that started it, so we're just gonna dive right into AEW Rampage, and we started out with the first fight of the night, which was Powerhouse Hobbs versus Penta El Zero Miedo for the TNT Championship. And when it was all said and done, it was Powerhouse Hobbs winning the match in 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Solid opener, very good match. Thought it could have been a lot more better in certain areas, but I'll give this about 3 stars. I thought they did a really good job with it. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Really thought it was a good fight. And Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, this match was mostly Hobbs dominating the action while Penta would occasionally try to make a comeback. The High Flyer was having just as much trouble as Phoenix did when it came to combating his strength. The match did not need to have a dirty finish, but other than that, everything we saw was solid. It was about 3.25. Hobbs almost dropped Penta when he picked him up for a backbreaker, but he recovered and hit the move nicely. If you track his progress from his AEW debut until now, Powerhouse Hobbs might be the person in the company who has progressed the most in every category. He is more charismatic, has a better physique, and seems way more confident in the ring. I believe he is a future World Heavyweight Champion. A headbutt from Powerhouse looks like it might kill a man, and the double stomp on the apron from Penta looked brutal. 3.25 stars for this match, so not much more to say here. Michael Bullock, Powerhouse Hobbs, still the TNT champion after knocking off Penta El Zero Miedo. Bullock, are you there? I don't know if we lost him or if he stepped away again. I don't know, but oh, there he is. Okay. All right. Well, get thoughts on
What'd you
Powerhouse
give it?
Hobbs and Penta for the TNT title.
What'd you give it?
3 and a quarter.
Yeah, 3.25. I think is the correct rating for this. I mean, a fine match, definitely could have been better, but I think they both did a good job. So nothing more to say. It's your Sledge.
Yeah, I agree with that. 3.25 stars. I think it could have been a lot more better, absolutely. But I thought they did a feasible job. I think is the best way to describe what they did. All right. So with that said, let's just move right on along. And the next thing that we did have here was it was a one-on-one match. So what we had, come on. All right, there we go. Then we had Brody King going up against Jake Hager. Brody King winning the match in 7 minutes and 19 seconds. Anthony, it's yours.
2.5, 2.5, 2 3/4. This match was just two big dudes hitting each other as hard as possible. That's always going to be a welcome sight in a pro wrestling ring. It wasn't a technical showcase or a 5-star classic, but it looked like a stiff fight, and that's just as good. Anna JAS came out and threw Julia Hart into the ring post, but the distraction did not stop Brody King from winning the bout. It was a fun and physical encounter. The appearance from Anna Jay felt unnecessary, but it's probably setting up something for the future. Perhaps Julia Hart is ready to return to in-ring competition. King is one of the most legitimately intimidating pro wrestlers in the business right now, and that's all I can really say on that. So, 2.5, 2 3/4 stars. Not much more to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, 2.5 stars for me on this one. I mean, it was. I'll just say. I mean, it was a. Let's just say this was an alright match. So nothing more to say. It's your Sledge.
All right, next up we had was Taya Valkyrie going up against Leela Gray. Taya wins the match in 1:09 by default. Worst fight of the night. Absolute dud. Yeah, that was not good. Not good at all. And that's the look. I'm gonna partially rant here. I think they could have done a better job making the match. This is kind of the first real major match that Taya got in AEW. And don't get me wrong, Layla Gray is a really good wrestler. She's amazing, but they could have made her look a little more stronger than that. I mean, they kind of fed her right to Taya, and Taya just does what she needed it to do. La Loca basically finished her in less than 60 in over 60 seconds, and they kind of gave her the Jay Cargill type of a squash type fight. They didn't really need to do that. You got to give her at least a little bit of some momentum here, but I don't know. Just me personally. Main event was the Acclaim versus the Kingdom. The Acclaim winning the match in 9:09. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
I'll give this an even 3 stars for this. I mean, I thought it was a solid match. I mean, it was definitely a nice win for the Acclaim here. They definitely really needed it. So nothing more to say. It is your Sledge.
Yeah, solid fight. 3 stars, no doubt about it. Anthony, it's yours.
Second best fight of the night, 3 stars. Relatively tame tag team bout by AEW standards. Both teams got in some good spots and the pace was steady, but they were slightly hampered by the amount of time they were given. The Kingdom did a great job playing the heels and using dirty tricks to maintain the upper hand, but Billy Gunn and Top Flight chased Maria away to even the odds again. Once she was gone, the Acclaim was able to hit the mic drop for the win. AEW, let's see. So nothing really noteworthy to speak of here. So I'll just park it here. Solid 3 stars. Overall review time.
Yeah. Overall, I thought this was a solid event. It was okay. I'll probably say about 7 out of 10. Anthony, it's yours.
No, disagree. 6.5. Matches were just all right for me. The opener with the Powerhouse Hobbs and Pentel Zero Miedo, that was the default fight of the night. Second best fight was Acclaimed in Kingdom. Solid match with Hager and Brody King. The women's match was a mess. Felt like a ho-hum diva fight in AEW, to be honest with you. But I'll tell you what. I mean, I'm looking at the card for Dynamite here. I mean, look at this. Kenny Omega is going to defend the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship against Jeff Cobb on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, we're going to see Willow Nightingale go one-on-one with Ruby Soho. Matt Hardy against Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And Meth, you're going to like this. John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club in a trios match against one of your favorites from Ring of Honor, I'm sure, Dalton Castle and the Boys.
Hey!
Yeah. So Dalton Castle and the Boys against the Blackpool Combat Club. And then Adam Cole against Daniel Garcia. And also, Orange Cassidy is going to defend the International Championship against the Butcher of Butcher and the Blade. And then, of course, Adam Cole's return match against Daniel Garcia. And also on Dynamite, well, actually, no, it was also announced that on the April 5th edition of Dynamite, we're going to get the match between Absolute Ricky Starks and Juice Robinson. So we'll talk about that on April 5th. But that's a good card for Dynamite coming up. This show, not so much, but, it is what it is. It's a Rampage. What else is there to say? So not much more to add on that. So 6.5 for me. Bullet taken home, and then we'll give it to MF for his Mikey's Mindset as he'll be previewing tomorrow night's RWA event, Cash is King.
Yeah, 6.5 for me. There's really nothing more for me to add. You guys pretty much touched on it. So, Fletch, let's get to your Mikey's Mindset with your preview tomorrow night's RWA event.
Yeah, like you guys have been saying, it's RWA, Cash is King, tomorrow night, live from once again the Our Lady of Rosary Church that's in Providence, Rhode Island. And yeah, we got ourselves a pretty good fight card, guys, and we have ourselves some good action here. So let's break it down. First, well, what's gonna happen is we're gonna hear from Devin Blades. We're gonna see what type of explanation he has for what happened about a month ago when, Anthony, you were there at the Renegade Rumble when he turned on the Mind Eraser Mike Grassa after they lost their shot at the RWA World Tag Team Championships. He will explain himself, and that will happen tomorrow night. Speaking of the tag team champions, Sean Leader and Tom Billington, the losers, will put the RWA World Tag Team titles on the line against Jason Devine and the Ace Mike Monteiro, 2 members of the Dirt City Murder Crew. That will be going down tomorrow night. Then we have ourselves, I hate to do it, but I'm going to have to do it anyway. It's with much regret to inform you all that David Morales, the commissioner of the Renegade Wrestling Alliance, will be in the ring tomorrow night. Yes, you heard me right. Morales is actually wrestling. Who's his opponent? We do not know. All we know is he is competing. Then we also have a one-on-one match, as it will be Jamie Tucker going up against the brand new RWA Ocean State champion Frankie Bones. Frank Bones putting the title on the line. I found out. I actually found out after the RWA announcement when he won the title, and we were wondering, was that? And I actually got clarification from multiple sources that that belt was actually RWA sanctioned. So that what happened was there was a match. There was a triple threat fight at the end where the RWA Ocean State title was there. The champion, there was the former champion was Shady Shay Cash, and what happened was at that point we later found out that basically when that happened, basically we found out that the belt was on the line. Next thing we know, Frank Bones cashed in the Jeremy Bell, and that was the equivalent of the Money in the Bank. You could catch that in for any title, anytime, any place, anywhere. He decided that was the moment. Next thing we know, we see Frank Bones walking out with the belt, and not only was he walking out, but his son and him grittied their way out of the Our Lady of Rosary with the RWA Ocean State Championship. Now Frank Bones puts that belt on the line tomorrow night against Jamie Tucker, one member of the Dirt City Murder Crew. Could Dirt City be dripping with gold tomorrow night? You got Jason Devine. That might be Ricky Medeiros. I could be wrong. I think it could be Ricky Medeiros and Mike Montero. That might not be Jason Devine. So whatever the case may be, I think it's Ricky and it's Ricky Medeiros. All right, I stand corrected.
And
that looks like Ricky.
I got to correct you on this. It's not for the tag team titles. It's an eliminator match.
Yeah, all right. It is an eliminator. So I stand corrected on that
for
too.
An opportunity at the tag team titles.
That's right. That's right. All right. So now we also have a one-on-one match. That is Ryan Fruss going up against Danny Anton. So that's a one-on-one match. Then we have ourselves a triple threat tag team. I should say a regular six-man tag team fight, as it will be. As this is gonna be, of course, Kellen Thomas, Anthony Stone, and Stephen Lust. They're going up against the Working Class Heroes, and making his return to the RWA, former RWA World Tag Team Champion, Frank Champion. This is one of those crews that this was Shady Shay Cash and Frank Champion. They were known as the heavy hitters. Frank Champion stepped away from the ring for a couple of years. They brought him back, and he makes his return tomorrow night. Oh my. Then we have ourselves a women's tag team fight, as it is gonna be Ellie Valentine and the Portuguese Vixen. They'll be teaming up against Big Juicy and Little Mean Kathleen. So ourselves a pretty good women's tag team fight that's going to be enjoyable to see. Then we got Teddy Goods going one-on-one with BTM. And then also, I also want to let you know that they also announced this, that there will be a match where the winner will be getting the Jeremy Bell. Yes, the Jeremy Bell will be in play again. I believe it's either a gauntlet match or an elimination style fight. I don't know how it's going to be, but they did announce that the Jeremy... Anthony?
It's a gauntlet.
Gauntlet. So, gauntlet match. Winner gets the Jeremy Bell. We already saw how the Jeremy Bell came into play last month. Could it come into play again tomorrow? We will wait and see. Because remember, winning the Jeremy Bell gives you the right to cash it in at any time, any place, anywhere at an RWA sanctioned event. So with that said, we got that. And then in the main event, for the RWA World Title, the champion, the entitled AJP goes up against the man that he took the belt from at RWA Goes Broadway. It's a rematch. Shady Shay Cash. Shady Shay Cash won the triple threat to earn the right to get this opportunity, and now Cash tries to regain the RWA World Title, but he's got to try to take it away from the current champion, AJP. Myself and Anthony Florio will be in the house tomorrow. So come on down to the Our Lady of Rosary Church, and it's going to be a happening. It's going to be something else. Florio, I know you believed it. You believed the hype. What is your feelings going into tomorrow's event?
Looks like a good card here. Looking forward to that main event. I'm looking forward to that gauntlet match. Gauntlet matches usually are fun, and it's not going to be the same without Bullock there. But but hey, we're still gonna enjoy ourselves. We're still gonna have a lot of fun, and I mean, I wish we could have had those legends there, but that's all right. I mean, I'm still starstruck from last month when I literally got to meet Danger Boy Alfredo and Thrasher, a couple of New England wrestling legends. I mean, that's a moment that I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life, and I hope that I'll get to have that honor again down the line. But for right now, looks like a good card here, and that main event's going to be something else. That's the World Heavyweight Championship looks good, and as the heel commentator, I'm definitely going to have a lot of fun with the Morales match. There's no doubt about that, because you remember how much fun I had when Coach Will lost that match and was forced to join Team Morales, and how much fun I had with that one. But the reason why I say it's not going to be the same without Bullock is because let's not forget that little moment with him and Teddy Goods at the last show. I mean, that's another moment I'm gonna remember. I know Bullock's gonna remember it for the rest of his life, but Teddy Goods against BMT, the women's tag. I mean, we'll see how that goes. Looks like a good 6-man tag here, and looks pretty good. And the Ocean State Championship with Frank Bones in his first defense since that incredible close to the Renegade Rumble last month. Jamie Tucker will be the first challenger for it, and can't wait to see David Morales in action. I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to eat that alive as the heel commentator. So looks like a good show. The Renegade Rumble was a big success last month. So looks good to me. So I'm looking forward to it. MF, we'll set up the final details in just a bit after we sign off. So looks like a good show. So can't wait to see it. It's going to be something else. Like MF said, it's going to be a happening. And, if it's anything like last month, it's going to be another fun night. I can't wait. Not going to be the same without Bullock, because Bullock was the life of the party that night. Let me tell you, Bullock got into that from start to finish. He was our MVP, but MF and I will do our best. So, but I know Bullock will be with us for the show after this one. So there isn't much more to say. MF, I'm looking forward to it. Looks like another solid card here. Great way to jump off WrestleMania week for us. So there isn't much more for me to say on this. So MF, let's hit them up with our WrestleMania week content here.
We started off on Monday night with Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio, and then obviously Monday Night Raw, NXT level. Oh no, wait! Isn't there some kind of special? Yeah, it's a special. Go ahead.
In addition to our review of the Go Home show from Monday Night Raw, which is going to feature Brock Lesnar and Omos in a weigh-in, Cody Rhodes against Solo Sikoa. I also heard that Braun Strowman and Ricochet will team up with the Street Profits to take on the Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders in an 8-man tag. And Miz TV with his special guests, Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. That's the most excited I've been for a Miz TV and maybe ever. I don't know, but that we'll get into all that on Monday night. The final Raw before WrestleMania in Phoenix. Special Tony's take. I'm going to be reviewing the Impact Wrestling Sacrifice event. Big, a lot of newsworthy things have happened in Impact Wrestling. Big news changes, big changes to Impact Wrestling, and I'll explain on Monday night, and then I will also preview Impact Wrestling Multiverse United, their big event during WrestleMania week that's set to go down this Thursday night. So that'll be on Monday. So MF, hit him with the rest of the content.
Then after that, it's Wednesday Night Madness, hosted by myself, and it's the usual NXT 2.0, and of course, we'll also have AEW Dynamite.
And
Thursday.
And don't forget, MF, you'll also be previewing the Supercard of Honor.
That's true. Thursday, no TXN Sports World. It's been bumped. In the place of that, we will have the preview of NXT Stand and Deliver and both nights of WrestleMania. Of course, Friday there's no show because we're actually going to be we're going to be just enjoying the night, and then of course WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday. We don't know what we're going to do for recaps. We don't know how we're going to break that down. We don't know if we're just going to maybe split it, one night on Monday and then one night on Tuesday. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. We need to figure that out. Or if we're just going to put it all together in one found swoop. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do it. We'll wait and see. I guess we'll wait and see how the shows go, and then we'll decide it at that point. But, yeah. So nothing more to say. Keep your close eye on all the social media, and that's it. So until Monday night for another edition of TXN of Ridiculously Raw, for Anthony Floyo, I'm Michael Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you on Monday.
Goodbye.